Hi everyone, welcome back to part 4 of playing over blues changes, and I'm back with my trusty $40 guitar. You know, I'm using this just because I just want to show you, you don't need to have a Fender custom shop and a $5,000 two-rock amp to to be able to do this. All of the equipment, it really doesn't matter. It's just you, the guitar, and your noggin here. Okay, so what we're going to try and do in this this video is turn this into music a bit more. What I played through at the beginning was all the arpeggios all together, and that of course is great, and it's great if you can do that, but it just sounds like an arpeggio, so we're going to try and turn it into music. So we're playing over the first 4 bars. This is what I'm going to try and help you with. So we have B flat, E flat, back to B flat. Now in our lesson we were doing this. Okay, so that was the first 4 bars. We had the B flat, the E flat. All right, now we're going to turn it into music if we can. So to do this, try and take something that you already know, and blues in B flat, that gives you a big clue. It's a blues. So let's see if we can play a bit of blues, something off the top of my head, and we'll see what we can do, and then I'll see if I can explain it. So 2, 3, 4. Okay, what was I doing there? Now, hopefully if I can remember this. What I'm doing here, I started with the blues lick. Okay, so this is 6 on the B, 6 on the high E, back to 6. Now this lick, can you see how this is kind of works with the arpeggio? Keeping... Now that note isn't in it, is it? But I bent that note. So can you see I bent that 9th fret to that note, which is in the arpeggio. Okay, now we're finishing on this note, and that's the end of the B flat. So 2, 3, 4, da, 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 da. And then we're on to the F chord. So you don't have much time on that, do you? You know, you're out of time already. Now we've got to go to the E flat chord, and the next note that's nearest is going to be this one. So we could do. Now that sounds all right, doesn't it? But I can see there's a gap to be filled in here, and whenever there's a gap for me, I like to fill it in. So. And that was the F back to the B flat. So I just hammered on from this 7 to 8. And you can finish with that little curl again because you're back on the B flat. So here's the B flat. Here's the E flat. B flat. There, I went down that kind of just a B flat minor pentatonic. Then I hammered on from 6 to 7 to that B flat on the 6th fret. So you can absolutely use the pentatonic scale. In fact, I did a video a while back showing you how you can just play the changes with that one scale, you know. But let's go back to this lick for a sec. So 2, 3, 4. You could go back to that 7th note there. That's the 7th of B flat if you go back 2 from the root. Okay. So there we go, B flat to E flat. So that's a little musical example there. Now, what else could you do? Well, as I said before, chromatics are really the thing that helps jazz move along a bit. So if you think of this, again, this B flat to the E flat chord, anywhere there's a gap, so there's a little gap here, so let's say so what I did there, so I'm starting with this B flat arpeggio, and now I'm, did you see, here's this shape again, and B flat arpeggio, did you see that? That's 6 to 9 there. I just filled in the gap, so let me do that slowly. Okay, I think I played something slightly different there, but anyhow, you get the idea. Okay, now we're finishing on that B flat here. So what could we do there? Well, the next kind of note in the C flat, which is the next chord, this one here, there's a gap there, so you could you see that? There's the E flat, filled in that gap, went back one, which is a chromatic note. So let's see. So can you see, instead of just playing the arpeggio straight like we did at first in the first 3 lessons, now we're trying to add some chromatic moves. It's still, you know, not exactly there yet, but okay, now, really good. So my advice would be, if you can mix blues and these arpeggios, this chromatic stuff together, it's kind of, in my mind, quite an irresistible combination, I think. So I'm just mixing a bit together to give you an idea. But wherever you've got a gap, see if you can fill it in, and add some string bends into there as well. Just the ones that you know. And don't forget to put your dynamics in there too, you know, that always sounds good. Okay, so there's some dynamics too. Now the other thing I just want to say, just before we kind of wrap up this video, is when you're looking at a long sequence of playing over changes, I think it's very easy to look at the whole piece and think, my God, I'm never going to be able to play all the changes over that. And you're absolutely right, you won't. You've just got to do it one chord going to the next chord, so just 2 chords at a time, a lot, you know. And when I say a lot, I mean, for me, and this is me because I'm quite slow in learning, what I would do is I'd just go this B flat to E flat, so I'd just be So I'd just be doing those 2 chords, B flat to E flat, for about 3 hours a day for a month maybe, and that's for me. And that may seem excessive, but believe me, you'll know it really well, because the idea is every time you play something, you don't want to be repeating yourself, you know, so you want to be trying to see if you can play this every time you play it, you want to be playing something different. And that just comes not from being a great musician or being born with it or having some talent. Believe me, I don't have any talent. But it's just from sticking with it a long time, just working on one thing thoroughly. And you know, if you find that difficult, don't use the whole scale, break it down even further. So let's say we went so I'm just playing those changes with one kind of, or two strings at the most, really, you know. So do that simply, you know, just 2 chords at a time. And when you're really sick of it, and by the time you can do this, you'll be sick of it and you won't think anything of it, then you move on to the next 2 chords. All right, so do it really slowly. So let me give you one little more example here. So let's see if I can join some things together, add some blues on this first 4 bars. So just see what you can come up with. Let me know if you've got any questions in the comments. And over this jazz blues, I know a common question would be, could you play pentatonic over the top? Absolutely, you can absolutely do that, you know, it all sound pretty good. It's just that, you know, when you play these changes, you can really hear them, can't you? If I play something pentatonic, sounds all right. If I play the changes, you could kind of hear those changes, can't you? B flat, E flat. All right, I've rambled on for too much. Sorry about that. But I'll see you on the next video. Let me know if you've got any questions. Check out my Patreon page for the tab. See you later.